About 45 minutes ago, photojournalist Brian Willie and everybody else here inside Ringo's felt a minor aftershock, and frankly, they have been feeling them throughout the day. Last night's earthquake, though, it caused quite a bit of damage. If you look beyond the deli counter there, in between the 7-Up sign and the Coca-Cola sign, you will see a crack in the middle of the wall, and that was caused by last night's earthquake. But as we walk back here, and Brian, when you turn around, you'll see exactly a similar scene, a little split down this wall right here, caused by that earthquake again. And you see those little dots that are popping out on the wall? Those little dots are nails. The force was so strong last night when this thing shook that it actually popped them out. That had never happened before. And here on the ground, past our messy wires, you'll see this crack right here. This has been caused by earthquakes in the past, they say, and last night certainly added to it.
9 News reporter Kevin Torres is near Berthoud and joins us now with his vantage point of this fire. Kevin?
Adele, we talk about the vegetation and how dry it is, especially the trees, but we're also dealing with dry grass. And here's a good look at what we're dealing with up there. And of course, it is causing that fire to race through the mountains. In fact, when we first arrived here 2.5 hours ago, you can see where that smaller mountain is beyond the trees. That mountain in particular was up in flames. You saw the smoke covering it.
Sorry, Kevin Torres is outside. Kevin, what are the folks in that part of the state telling you?
Well, you know, Kathy, some say that they've already seen 5-foot snowbanks. Now, it's no surprise here. I'm one of the shortest guys in the newsroom, only about 5'6", so I needed a ladder to explain this to you. By the end of the week, folks in Crested Butte and other mountain towns at high elevation could see 6 feet of snow. Now, that is a conservative estimate. The National Weather Service actually called businesses in town and told them that they actually could see upwards of 8 feet of snow.
We want to get to Kevin Torres, who is up in Boulder, and this mountain lion, I guess they tranquilized it, right, Kevin?
They sure did, and let me tell you something about the students out here. All they're saying is OMG, OMG, OMG. That's what they're typing on Facebook, because this thing is spreading like wildfire on social media, and a lot of the students were around when this happened. But they say that it was sort of like a hostage situation in a sense, where campus police cleared this entire area. In fact, students had to take pictures from their windows. I sure do. You know, the thing is, as you were saying there, Eric and Cheryl, is that this stretched back for months, going back to August, when they had a tip that Osama bin Laden might be hiding out inside this mansion in a rocky terrain area in Pakistan along the Afghan border. That apparently, from what the owner says, was struck by lightning, but the folks who just showed up here a little while ago, they're tree professionals, say that the inside of it appeared to be rotting. So this baby just kind of slammed over into this bed and breakfast house, which is called the Ogden House. Bossy, last Thursday, Larimer County Sheriff's deputies responded to 3 rafting incidents in that exact area. There was a 4th accident, but rafting officials were able to rescue those folks who were in need of assistance. We're told that the McConnell neighborhood out here in LaPorte Kyle should expect to see quite a bit of flooding, maybe tonight into tomorrow. I told you guys on 9 News at 9 o'clock that this is the first time I have tried it, and I think I'm stuck in this position. I have not moved from this patio. I think I'm going to stay overnight here.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see how it goes for you, and then maybe we'll try it.
See, that's how it always works. Around this time, a couple months ago, you guys had me out here standing in the cold. You guys always use me as your guinea pig.
Oh, we appreciate you, Kevin. We do.
Sure, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Sure.
With more, Kevin, what did you learn?
Well, Mark, we posed a question to those who are unemployed, and for those who need a job, we wanted to know one thing. If you could tell the president anything, what would it be?
This is the land of opportunity.
At the height of rush hour, when thousands of people are heading home from the office, you'll still find plenty of folks searching.
It's difficult.
And wishing for work.
Dear Mr. President, my name is Joel Marlowe, and I need a job today.
My name is James Coleman, and please look out for me, Obama, because I need a job. I'm out here struggling.
I'm willing to work, just need to work.
Desperation is a word that's tossed around.
Mr. President, my name is Matthew Turner.
But for many, it's the hand they're dealt with.
I'm willing to do anything.
If they could write their stories.
I've been unemployed for about 3.5 years.
I've been unemployed probably about 2 years now.
And read them to the president.
What a beautiful day.
They would hear him out first.
It's time to build an economy that creates good middle-class jobs in this country.
And then they would say this.
I think he can do more, but I think he's on the borderline right now, but we need some more help out here.
I don't really follow politics much, but I heard that you're trying to bring jobs back.
They're hoping his actions speak louder than his words.
It's time to build an economy that honors the values of hard work and responsibility.
I would really love a job that would be available to someone like me.
And more importantly, they're hoping for a second chance.
It's time to build an economy that lasts. In Denver, that starts now.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Christopher Phillips died over the weekend in a two-car crash on Highway 94 east of Ellicott near Colorado Springs. When an oncoming driver veered in front of his car, the State Patrol believes Phillips swerved to save his girlfriend, who was sitting in the passenger seat. 9 News reporter Kevin Torres is in the Springs tonight. And Kevin, aside from the State Patrol, Phillips' girlfriend tells you she knows he was trying to save her.
Mark, she says that's just who Chris was, the sort of guy who put someone else's needs before his own. This kind of story never comes with a happy ending, but the chapters leading up to it are filled with so many wonderful memories.
He was a lovely man. He really was.
The final chapter of Christopher Phillips' story ended the way it started.
He put everybody before him.
And if you turn the pages back just a year, you would have met a man who fell in love with a woman who became his best friend.
He and I met at a kind of a tough time in my life, and I, through his friendship, felt safe.
It was his love and his family he cherished most.
They're so close and so warm.
At the end of last week, Christopher, Deb, and his son Shane traveled to Oklahoma to visit Chris's father, who had suffered a stroke.
He felt at peace with where things were.
On the way back to Colorado, the three drove quietly in Chris's car, not realizing what was up ahead.
We were happy. Everybody was happy.
Deb remembers the loud noise, and then this.
I felt the blood on my face, and I looked over, and his eyes weren't open, and I reached over and I touched his face, and I put my finger on his lips, and I didn't feel him breathing.
Stunned by what had just happened, she stumbled from the vehicle.
I was just so overwhelmed with him being gone that I fell down in the ditch, and then there were people all around me.
At that point, Chris's son had been rushed to the hospital. Deborah followed and stood by his bedside.
He just said, "Come here," and I leaned down real close to his lips with my ear, and he just whispered, "I love you, and I'm sorry." And I realized that was such a beautiful thing to do.
Shane believed what his father believed, to put someone else's needs before your own.
One of his favorite lines was, "If your friends are friends of love, then your friends are friends of mine." And that was Chris.
Colorado State Patrol says the other driver should have not veered into the lane. However, this does not appear to be an intentional crash. They say that drugs and alcohol were not a factor as well. As for that driver, he will likely be ticketed. Mark, most of the family, Chris's family, knows about the crash and his death. Aside from his father, who suffered the stroke, the doctor said it's probably not a good idea to tell him just yet.
This is just so awesome.
All right, let's get the family together.
Okay, hang on just a second.
Did you talk to Tim?
That's Tim.
Good, good. How about Boots?
Boots should be here.
Excellent. What about the other brothers and sisters? There's 9 of you, right?
2 of them live out of state and they're not here.
Okay, no worries. Still a good crowd. You excited?
Will he be coming up?
How excited?
Just a little.
Thought so.
This is so awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes, it is. Imagine waiting for your loved one to come home just like those miners' families did. It's something special.
A miracle has happened. Those guys have been under there for so stinking long, and they're coming up. And my brother helped do that.
It's probably been a while since Julie has been this excited about seeing her brother.
His approach is coming. There he is.
But let's hold that excitement back for just a couple more seconds, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, Julie. Anyways, Jeff's family stood in line side by side.
And you need a medium?
Wearing matching shirts, waiting.
Can we see him? Can we see him?
She couldn't hold it back. Waiting for Jeff's arrival.
Chile. We got him out in Chile.
And when he finally came, well, this pretty much sums it up.
Jeff!
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, you're so awesome, buddy. You are so awesome.
Among the many who couldn't pull their eyes off Jeff was Jeff's son Dylan.
Wherever there's problems, he goes.
Who calls his dad a hero.
No, we're not. We just do our job every day. The real hero, as I've said before, there was one gentleman in that mine that took control, and for 14 days, had 33 guys live on 1 can of tuna fish a day.
Jeff also thinks his colleagues are heroes. The other 3 men from Colorado who helped drill that hole and ultimately helped save those miners.
I was glad to be able to get those guys home to their families.
That's what meant the most to this group, family. whether it was their own or the miners. It's all about family.
It was absolutely a fairy tale come true because it actually worked out.
From the front lines to the front range, a group of disabled veterans is defying all odds this 4th of July by traveling to new heights. They gathered in Boulder this afternoon to do something many wouldn't dare to try. 9 News storyteller Kevin Torres shows us their mission was a success.
From this distance, I couldn't tell you if it was white, purple, or green.
Take a look. Do you see them?
I thought I heard one. Cool.
They're right up there.
I don't think that's it.
You sure?
It's all going to be just fine.
It's got to be them.
Wait.
Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah.
Yep, it's definitely them.
First guy out. Second guy out. Yeah!
Wow. They call this Operation Rebound.
That is way cool.
They fly in the Wild Wild West. They fly.
It's for all the guys that have come back from the Iraq War with some type of injury. Joel's the one coming down now.
It's donated events so that we can get the veterans out and about, out of their house.
Oh, man.
I felt that, you know, I needed to do something.
It had to be something unusual. Something like skydiving.
You know, you look nervous, you know?
I wasn't nervous at my game face, dude.
They're not the type of guys who get nervous.
He kind of worried me because he was like, yeah, when you scoot down on your butt, it'll probably tear a hole. I put my butt in, I'm like, did I make a hole? He's like, dude, get that out of my face.
You wouldn't expect a disabled vet to jump from a plane 7,000 feet up.
They're going to get a good view of Long's Peak right over there.
But that's the point.
There's nothing that a disabled person cannot do.
Semper Fi, baby!
This day was about challenging each other to do the abnormal.
Oh, yeah.
All for the sake of feeling normal.
Hey, awesome. Hell yeah.
And if you ask them, they'll tell you it feels pretty darn good.
Not too many words to describe it.
In Boulder, this is Kevin Torres, 9 News.
You can learn more about Operation Rebound Denver by heading to 9news.com and clicking on Kevin's story.
If you are among the many who have lost some patience with the amount of construction going on in Colorado right now, well, a greater test of patience is about to come. The construction projects are not close to being complete. In fact, this week marks the halfway point for most of the projects. With more on what we can expect, let's talk now to 9 News reporter Kevin Torres. Kevin, it doesn't sound like you have much more good news for us.
Alas, Cheryl, it is I, the bearer of bad news. You know, even though we are at the halfway point right now, there are still a lot of projects that are about to start right now, including that mess known as I-25 and Santa Fe. So, tried to find a word to describe people's feelings about this construction, and I think I found one in the dictionary today.
I think it's in everybody's way.
Hate is a strong word, a word most of us don't use too often.
I think it's creating congestion.
But what other word comes to mind when dealing with construction-created traffic?
Honk if you hate construction!
None other than the H word.
Do you hate construction, sir?
If frustration could be measured in honks,
there we go. That's a person who absolutely hates construction.
Then this group's feelings would be as messy as the road they're driving on.
People are going by so slow right now, and all they want to do is just honk. See?
It is annoying, and it's causing congestion on all sorts of routes that you wouldn't normally see congestion.
Carol Fleming is one of those drivers who lost their cool somewhere around Slow Boulevard and Annoying Avenue.
Yeah, it's a bad time for all the construction.
If you think this is bad, just wait, because some spots are about to get a whole lot worse.
It is. You know, what's difficult in Colorado is you have such a short construction season.
CDOT employees get just as frustrated as the rest of us, but they know there's only a few good months to get the work done.
And so we really cram it in from May to September.
In the metro area, there are a total of 30 projects. Statewide, about 150.
In the metro area where congestion's bad, we do try to schedule much of our work in the off-peak hours. We work a lot of overnights.
Do you hate construction? No? She loves construction.
Aside from the select few who can tolerate this sort of stuff.
Do you hate construction? You're going so slow. You don't hate it? Well, come on, you hate it.
CDOT is asking we be patient. And to remember, we're only halfway through the construction season.
I hope it finishes very quickly.
You know, if there is any good news, it is that you won't have to deal with that tomorrow being a holiday. Of course, a lot of those construction folks have the day off. Back to Tuesday, though. Oh, well, that's a different story. You're going to be dealing with those slight delays. However, if you go to 9news.com, click on that traffic button, It'll give you all the good, fast routes to go around all this stuff. Cheryl, somewhere in the CDOT building, there is an employee in a small office who is building honk if you hate Kevin Torres signs tonight.
I know you are the most patient guy I know, so
Revenge.
I don't think you would.
You obviously don't know me too well. Oh, sure.
Kevin Torres, thanks a lot.
Oh, that's a lot of paint.
There are moments in our lives when the simple things
Paintbrush just for you.
tend to cover up the difficult ones.
Look at my hands. That's not funny.
Look at that's my girl.
We search for ways to create life,
You do the most beautiful paintings.
even when life is fading away.
We didn't want to miss out on 1 second of her life.
It was only a few months ago when Delaney Wadsworth was diagnosed with a rare brain tumor.
3 months ago, it was only about the size of a golf ball.
Since then, it has grown to the size of a grapefruit.
It decides to start growing. It's fast.
It's like we're not ready yet. You know, it's happening. Everything's happening too fast.
Delaney's parents know they're running a race they cannot win.
We don't know how to say goodbye.
All they can do is enjoy the moments along the way.
We took her to do as much stuff as we knew how to do.
They traveled, visited family, bought her whatever she wanted.
She wanted to have some farm animals and stuff, so we got her some goats and a lamb.
They even gave her a birthday 1 month in advance, knowing she probably wouldn't live to see the actual date.
I just cried. And I still cry. Because I'm really going to miss her. You're going to miss your children. They're not supposed to go before you.
If there is any comfort for Delaney's parents, it's knowing their daughter has accepted and welcomed her fate.
And she says, "Oh, Mommy, I'm so excited I'm dying." I said, "Baby, who told you that?" She said, "God told me."
It's only a matter of days, weeks at best, before Delaney's sun begins to set.
I can't imagine life without her.
As she prepares to leave our world, she has one last wish.
Her dying wish would be for everyone to just give each other a hug.
For all of us to bring a little color into our lives.
And to just let things go.
In Windsor, this is Kevin Torres, 9 News.